talking about Tron. I watched Tron live in theaters on Thursday, and I wanted to give my opinion about it. I think it was like a 5 out of 10. The visuals were like phenomenal, but the story is non-existent. Like I said, the visuals were great, but I think as classic Disney nowadays, there was like no good story. And before I saw the movie, I think most of us can agree that when we saw Jared Leto was starring, a little skeptical for sure. I just don't think he's a very good actor. He seems like a cool guy, but just not very good at acting. Which is ironic, because you would think it was like a really good role for him, because he doesn't need to act. He can act like a robot, but I just don't think it... I still don't think it worked, because in Tron Ares, he's supposed to be like a empathical program. The programs just didn't really feel like programs, which is weird. I don't know if that's just a personal thing that I have, but they just didn't feel like programs. They just kind of felt like weirdos in a way. Alright. What the fuck is going on in chat? Whatever, man. Anyway, I'm not even gonna get into the story because I think it's boring as fuck, and it really didn't have any substance whatsoever. The main character is forgettable. We got one like motorcycle chase scene, and throughout the entire movie it just felt like there was absolutely no real risk to any of the characters, just because of how cartoony the dialogue was. Another thing I will say with Disney is Disney needs to stop doing cartoon humor in live action films. It just doesn't work ever. You can't have your live action characters be serious one moment and then the next they're all of a sudden acting like cartoon characters. It's just weird. The movie does give people who have watched both the original and Tron Legacy at least kind of a boner jam, because they do end up adding the original grid, and then you do get references to Tron Legacy, but they're towards the end of the film. If anything did come good from the movie, it's the music. The music is phenomenal. You can totally tell Nine Inch Nails tried to stay true to kind of that Daft Punk sound, but they did like their own spin to it, and it was pretty cool. It sounds really good. Unfortunately, the music is misused in the movie a lot, and that's just because every single time they use the really good music, it's on moments that just aren't really that exciting. So it's not really the music's fault, it's the scenes they chose to do it were just not very valuable, at least in my opinion. One of the scenes, there's a massive buildup for him simply just jumping through a window, which is just really weird choice. There were a lot of people that were saying that the movie was just complete ass cheeks, which, I mean, I have to disagree with that. I don't think the movie was complete ass. I just think it's just kind of what Disney's been putting out recently, which is just not very good. And I really do beg movies nowadays, it's not just Disney doing this, but it seems like every single modern movie that I watch, the dialogue is just on the nose. Every single thing that is happening in the movie is being spelled out by the characters. And it just feels like movie directors think the audience isn't able to see and understand what's going on, so they have to spell it all out, which is just really weird. The movie was relatively successful though, and there's a lot of people who really enjoy it, which is good, because if anyone remembers when Tron Legacy came out, there was actually a lot of hate for it, but now it's like a cult classic, so maybe this one will do better. I highly doubt it though. I don't think it has the right ingredients to be a cult classic, unfortunately. Which kind of sucks because it might give Disney another reason to dumpster the TRON series, which it's personally one of my favorites. The plot is held by hopes and dreams, but if you're just there to see some programs fight, you do get a couple of good scenes, but that's about it. It's kind of another thing is, since this movie is based in the real world, you really don't get that many scenes of actually being in the grid, which also means they can't really physically harm each other in the real world like they can in the grid, which obviously leads to a few plot holes and in general kind of feeds more into that thing that I said about how there's just really no stakes. It feels like the characters that are supposed to be killing each other aren't. Another thing is both the villains, which are one pretentious douchebag rich kid and then a program, are both unbearably cartoony. Almost to the point where they don't even feel like villains. But if you like TRON, you'll enjoy the movie. I still enjoyed the movie as much as I'm dumping on it right now. I still think it's an okay movie. You get new vehicles, you get new weapons. TRON Ares was overall just meh.